the Wake Up Guyana Show.
Girls, we have the perfect solution. Sleepy denim diapers, giving you that fashionable denim look throughout the day with the same soft touch. Look cool, look hip, rock in style with Sleepy jeans.
Yes, good afternoon. Welcome once again to the Wake Up Guyana Show here on Kaieteur Radio. It is Christmas time. Well, it is at least according to me. And you're tuned into the Wake Up Guyana Show here on Kaieteur Radio. I want to say good day to whoever is joining us today, wherever you're joining us from. I want to say good day to you. Thank you as always. I hope that it has been a beautiful weekend for you. Whatever it is, we know that you should not give up hope, that it is another day in which we get to live all over again, maybe. For a lot of people, things might be a little down in the dumps, COVID-19, jobs, money, a lot of things that would have been affecting us that we are not seeing our way. But that doesn't mean that you can't look forward in a very positive way for what tomorrow brings, for what today holds. So I want to say good day to you. Thank you for joining us on the Wake Up Guyana Show here. We coming to you live from our studio here in Georgetown, Saffron Street, Charlestown, Georgetown. We also coming to you live on 99.1 FM in the Berbice, in Esquibo and Demerara, 99.5 in Berbice. You could get us right now on Facebook, Kaieteur Radio on Facebook, or Kaieteur Radio live stream on YouTube. There are many things to talk about today, and we want to get right down into things so we can open the lines as early as possible, and you could be able to, raise your concerns or give your comments on things that are happening, current issues that is affecting you. And I must tell you that over the weekend I was doing some work as well. I did reach out to a couple of ministers, a couple of other folks, and we have some good news to share with you with regards to GWI and the way that you can do your complaints, because they're so busy and sometimes you get so crazy as reporters, as media people, about some of the behavior, some of the way that our people respond to things that should be issues that should be automatic, that you should be addressing. The normal run-of-the-mill things, it's a pain. It's a pain to get over it. And so I was working a couple hours during this weekend trying to raise awareness within our people there to make sure that they understand that when we call on them, when the people of Guyana call on them, it's not because they have a complaint, but because it's part of your business to ensure that you answer some of the concerns of the people. So I would want to tell you a little bit that in a very short while. But what do we have right now? We could tell you about sand truck and vendors and minibuses on the road, but a complaint that I received this morning, and we will be talking. We will be talking about that in a very short while. What we could tell you also, that there are two murders in an accident. One, a woman killed a man after he attacked his common law wife. They were all living in the same place in the East Bank, Essequibo, Perica area there. Said GWI pension books. We want to tell you about a little about the 10:30 curfew and what happened to Palm Court over the weekend there. And of course, it's 146 deaths at the moment. 146 deaths at the moment when it comes to COVID-19. Some places in Berbice, because you would have seen some numbers in Berbice coming out, that they are moving to lock down some villages, indigenous people villages, Amerindian villages, as you would know it, and we're going to tell you a little bit that story. So right about now, it is time to find out what our favorite newspaper, Kaieteur newspaper, Guyana's largest selling daily and New York's most popular weekly. What is it that they are saying today and yesterday? And yesterday, November the 22nd, that's a Sunday's edition. That is a Sunday pastime that everybody reads the newspaper, and it has been that way for years and years growing up. It's been the Mirror newspaper, the Chronicle newspaper. Stabrook came on stream, and it became Stabrook as well. And then, of course, you had Kaieteur News, the weekly, and then it became a daily. I joined just about 13 years back. And of course, we continue to read our favorite newspaper. And yesterday, November the 22nd, 2020, this is what it had to say. Giveaway of Peters Hall lands, fired Nissel Head, Heath London, remains in police custody. And you recall that he's been questioned with the giveaway of these bank lands. These bank lands are normally be sold. In this particular case, it was leased, then sold in very suspicious, very questionable, almost criminal matter, according to the authorities. And they want to know whether it was a deliberate thing. And this gentleman here, Calvin Heath London, is no ordinary person. He was a former CEO, Chief Executive Officer of the National Industrial and Commercial Investments Limited. It's a state-owned company that looks after properties of the government and investments. And he would have taken those lands there, according to what the investigation is saying. And this around the Peters Hall area, around the Providence area, where prices of lands there have gone through the roof because of the demands of the oil and gas sector. So what you would have seen here, he's been accused of adjusting those leases in a way that allows the people them to sell, and so to get it, so the people who received it sold it to foreign investors and made a hefty profit. What did Guyana get? Nothing. Suriname can access oil companies' accounts whenever it wants, while Guyana only permitted to audit once a year. This is total disrespect, and I'm not sure why is it that year after year, week after week, day after week, we continue to talk about this oil thing, and there seems to be not enough energies being put to see what we could do to improve it. Now, let me put this in layman's term for you. You have somebody in your that come to you and says, look, we are going to explore in your backyard. We believe that this big backyard that you have here has gold. And so they started exploring, and you signed an agreement with them. If they find it, we're going to give you a little 2% or something out of that. And when they found that there was a big deposit, they come back to you. And instead of you taking that opportunity to see whether you could get a better deal, you signed wholesale. Guess what you told them? In this particular case, you told them, you know what? I want, to audit your books once a year. Who does any kind of things like that? Who signs something like that? Somebody got to be drunk when they sign something like that. So that is what Exxon got. When you look across what is happening in Suriname says, when I want to come and check your books to make sure that you're producing what you say that you're producing, that you're selling for what you say that you're selling for, then we should be able to do that. Suriname is being able to do that. Guyana, we got to tell the people that when we want to go on the FPSO, that oil place that they have about 100 miles offshore Guyana. So these are things that, that continues to be a surface, and it's raising a lot of concerns. Why is it raising concerns? You could get a better deal, of course. And then in addition to that, why are you complaining about $25,000 when you could have so much more money there? So there's an opportunity for us just 1 year into production time of ExxonMobil, when there are other concessions out there, offshore oil concessions, oil blocks, while we look into better what we have here with ExxonMobil, the fact is that we still have to continue, still have to drill it in our people, that we have to be very, very serious. You could recall a few days back, there was a gentleman here from the Middle East, but I'm not sure if the word gentleman is a good word to use, an investor. He's a prince in the UAE, which is the United Arab Emirates. And he's here because he's looking for investments, maybe something he could do in Guyana. They have a lot of money. Guyana has needs. So he's here. Here the thing is, when you look at the kind of lifestyle and the wealth that UAE and Dubai and all those places, they control in, and you wish that you could probably have a yacht or maybe a sports car or a nice home or something like that. How do we get there? Is it by sitting very quietly or we open our mouth? Australian executive arrested for bribing Iraqi oil government officials in multi-million-dollar oil contracts. Should have a read of this. It gives you an insight. It lifts the lid of the oil world and see. It shows you exactly how companies and how backroom dealings and little room, under the coffee, in the coffee shop and in boardrooms and so on, how they do it away from the people that really should be benefiting, and how they pay companies and politicians and so on. And that story never comes out to the fore. But people are benefiting. People buy yachts. People have fancy living. They make millions of dollars. And in the meantime, the population of Nigeria and so on continue to live in poverty and less than so much money per day, far even lower than what Guyana, what the Guyanese people are living. Fort breach for the year. Murder accused prisoners used bed sheets to escape Lusitnan prison. Shocking again. Somebody had should roll for this. Why is it that you have a prison and you cannot control what is happening in the prison? 4 walls, searchlights, cameras. Something is wrong. Somebody is not paying attention. The guards are sleeping at the gates. So somebody need to answer. And if it continues like this, these are murderers, accused murderers that is on the streets, that is somewhere, that could be killed. BK finally vacates $827 million Yark Harbor School site. Police bigwigs figure in $150 million missing fund scandal. I'm going to come back to this one here because the police withhold some of the money, and they're saying it goes right on to the top. That there's some senior officials that would have had to sanction. There's no way the small guys, the small fishers, could have been able to get away to steal these monies, allegedly, of course, without the big ones up there knowing. And the story that's coming out is going to be very stinking because Soku is dealing with that story at the moment. Lindoner pensioner robbed of church money and home invasion. And I see why Kaieteur News is carrying this up in front with all the other oil story. Because while we're talking this, people could actually go out there and rob pensioners. You want to think about it? Let's think about it there. Bond, James Bond, fingered. James Bond, 007. Fingered as mastermind behind Peter's Oil land scandal. And this case here is going to be a very big case. I think the authorities are going behind a couple of politicians on the opposition side. Let's see where that goes. As police hunt for Arkan principle. So it looks as if there was a mix that these people here set up companies using their employees and so on, and then applied for lands and then sold it back. And it looks like a lot of money. A lot of people were involved with this, and the people made money. Nigerian linked to $1.3 billion oil scandal set up shop in Guyana. We should pay attention who's coming to our shores and what it is that they're doing in our place right in Guyana here. So many things. So you could get your story there. School voucher distribution kicks off in Berbice, and this is a good thing. I understand there's some of these schools there now, the Minister of Education. Each child in the public school is supposed to be getting $4,000 a piece. And there's a beautiful cartoon here. Everybody running to Guyana. Beautiful, sweet Guyana. They show her as a beautiful woman with some scrawny-looking kids behind her, which is the Guyana populace. And the investors are coming in. Beautiful Guyana, saying welcome, welcome, but trying to hide the kids behind. That is a cartoon there in Kaieteur newspaper. Region 6 records 35 new COVID-19 cases there should pay attention to that, because we are going to continue. We are going to come back and tell you a couple of things. It's 146 cases right now, and they're looking to lock down a couple of areas in Berbice. There, Berbice. This is the west coast of Berbice. There, east coast of Berbice, rather, East Berbice area, up the Quarantine River, that they would have seen a spike in cases. If you're up in Berbice, there, be very careful. There's something going on up there, and they are doing some more tests, and I rather suspect the figures are going to come out a little more. Licensed firearm owners must ensure that it's secure. They have secured storage for weapons, and the police warns. And this would have come after the deaths of the two teens. One, the son of a politician, and the other would have been from Kitty. He went and slept by his friend that played with a gun. He ended up dead. In all cases, it's coming out that the owner for the home, or one of the owners, would have left the gun in a place which was accessible. In this particular case, we heard that they broke into the wardrobe, and they stole, or they got hold of this gun, and they were playing with it. In any case, what could go wrong went wrong, and the little boy died. And so the police are saying that we could take away a license, and you could be held responsible. When you got your gun license, one of the things that you have to agree with, or one of the things that they tell you, please find a place that is secure, that your gun is not left all over the place. And so your kids could get hold of it, or so it was supposed to be in your safekeeping. And when you say safekeeping, it is safekeeping there. So City Hall has $5 billion, that not 500 million. We get tired sometimes about City Hall and the NDCs and everybody that seems not to get the facts right, or not only the facts right, the mandates right when it comes to delivering service to the people. The city stinks, the drains are overflowing, garbage not being collected. In the meantime, City Hall in desperate plight. They know how to give you a hard time for your permits and so on, and they know how to make a lot of stories there, or how to have a lot of quarrel. I accuse you of this, you accuse me of that, and they absolutely get nowhere. They're spinning the wheels in the sand. So that's a story that we have to continue to pay attention to. We head straight into the November the 23rd, 2020 edition of the Kaieteur newspaper here, and this is what it says here on the front page. GPF, the Guyana Police Force audit reveals over 150 weapons missing. Another case. Why is 150 consistent with what is happening with the police force? Well, you have $150 million that's missing, and now you have 150 weapons that's missing here. Minister Ben says findings alarming. Let me tell you this. When you see things like this happen, you remove the head. You have to. We have to start getting a police force. We have to start getting people who are responsible. The police force is supposed to be the representative, the guardians of the gate, the guardians of our security. When you go to bed at the end of the day, when you go out to do business, when you're on the road, you expect the police people to do their job. You don't expect them to be leeches and people that hunt you down, people that prey upon you. I call them predators, that takes away your peace at the end of the day. The police are very much aware of who's doing what in the communities. They know where the drugs are being sold. They know where the stolen stuff are being sold. They also know that when they stop you on the road, how to shake you down. Start doing the job. When you call them, they can't turn up at your place there. Some good police officers, some good commanders around the place, but there's some bad eggs who's spoiling the rest of the barrel. And that's something we cannot continue to accept in this beautiful country of ours. You want to raise yourself, you want to raise the bar, you want to become a first world country, get your laws to work for you. ExxonMobil's behavior in Guyana is an attempt at colonization. International lawyer Melinda Janke. And yes, does she have something there? Let me tell you this. When you have people come in here dictating, and you can remember the colonial days. The colonial days was when you had foreign rulers in your place. We had a British government at one point in time. There's going to be some cynics who are going to tell you it's better we continue to have the British people looking after us than to have this system where democracy, there's a president, and then there's all kind of things that's happening in Guyana. It's better we had the British. But let me tell you that when it was back in the British days, you had a governor, you had people, soldiers, British soldiers, and you had that kind of segregation thing, the whites versus the blacks and the Indians. So we could recall in the 1960s, the people are going to tell you about the British Army and so on that was here. And so when you have Exxon coming back and comparisons are being drawn as to what would have happened to the 60s and what would have happened to one company, coming in and telling you about what belongs to you, about how you should get your money, when you should get it, how much you should get, and you sit down and you shut your mouth. What does that say about you as a people? Today I'm here to wake us up because this is a Wake Up Guyana show right here on Kaieteur Radio. Heat London pins blame on dead former initial CEO for amended lease clause and Peters Hall land giveaway. So what we're talking about here, if you're not familiar with that, is to a piece of land on the East Bank, and you know if you want a piece of house lot, 20 acres, 15 acres, and so on. You could remember, if you don't understand, 20 acres would give you 626s. It's 120. It's about 120 house lots that you could get out of 20 acres. 30 acres, 180 house lots. When you take these lands and you put it in your buddy's hands, and they turn around and make $100 million and they don't declare it anywhere. But not only that, the state does not get anything. What do you want to do with people like that? There should be no excuse. And so when there's a law that says you cannot sell these lands, remember if you go to housing and they give you a piece of land, they tell you can't sell it for 10 years, that's a stipulation, that's regulations. That's to ensure that when you get your land that you build on it, that you're not there to speculate on it, that you're there to sell it. So they had this provision in the law that says you can't sell it to anybody. You got to develop it without us knowing. That is us as initial. Guess what? They amended it that allows the person to sell it, to get rid of it, to transfer it. Why would you do that? Who allows you to do that? If you are there making transactions and so on, you have lawyers in place, surely you would see something as glaring as this. Nisil, Gaisuko, the rest of you guys got to get up. Get up and smell the coffee. Get up and wake up and understand that the people of Guyana, this comes back full circle to during the elections time when there were very serious talks about our country, about what is happening in this country here, about the rule of law. We cannot sit by and allow you to get away while a man is being jailed 3 years for 8 grams of marijuana. What is wrong with you? The man smoking his marijuana, he might have 2 spliffs, 8 grams. Jail him. You steal 150 million walking free, something got to be wrong with you, something got to be wrong with me. Exxon identifies over the 50 more drillable wells. We're talking about how nice it is that Exxon is looking at it because they understand. And Exxon is going to find more oil. We have 9 billion barrels out there. How much are we getting? How much are they getting? And there's some stories that is going to come out. As Leonard, he's the one. He told me to make sure that he speak on this. He's very passionate about it. He wants his newspaper. He wants his radio station to ensure that it carries the message to the people. Let them wake up. Wake up and smell the coffee. COVID-19 impact. We still need to find a balance not to open up as if things are normal. Emergency specialist warns. So we don't understand it. Oil companies must employ locals in front of foreigners. This is what the Suriname oil law says. Guyana has no local content legislation 5 years later. Are we serious, people? Are we serious? What is it that we're doing to this country that we're not moving on this? Well, this new government is in place 3 months now, and they are moving ahead with it. At least that's what they would have said. There's another story before I head straight into a break and then open up the lines that I must tell you about. And I look back at this front page. Why is it that we need to tell governments, the coalition government, why is it that we need to tell anybody, the authorities, that you need to employ your locals? Why is it that you pay your locals a pittance when overseas comparative salaries are way above something? Who allows things like that? Why is it that a bunch of ministers have to be going to Aurora gold mine, Chinese-owned Aurora gold mine, to find out what labor complaints that is in that area? You understand what I'm saying? I hope that we starting to awaken ourselves, that we could be able to start doing something, that we could be able to push our government. We know that Irfan Ali got his hands full as the president of Guyana, and the vice president, Bar Jagdo. They're looking at a couple of things. But it's our job as a watchdog, as the keepers of the gate also, that we should tell our government, that we should tell our people continuously that this is where something is going wrong. This is what needs to be addressed. You need to put the spotlight on this issue here. So I'm going to bring one other issue to you here before we could talk about what is happening with our people in Guyana. Police probe completed into female massified escape from Barbies police station. OPR to submit report. And I don't understand this case here. This case here baffles me. A woman goes in, is captured in Suriname. She's been accused of being the mastermind behind the murder of a senior citizen in Guyana. She's handed over by the Surinamese authorities. Somebody who's a fugitive. Somebody who escaped from Guyana to escape the long arm of the law. Ends up in Suriname. Captured here as a result of collaboration between Guyana and Suriname. Brought back here, put that in the police station at Springlands here. And if you understand Springlands, like what we would have been told, it is very, very protected. It's very secure. The guards at the gate, guards inside, many police officers. A lady says she wants to go to the washroom, then escapes. What's wrong with that picture? What's wrong with that picture there? So we need to really get ourselves, together. In the meantime, we are going to be taking a break right now. It is a break because there's a couple of things that you need to know here when it comes to your insurance. What is it that you need to know about your insurance? And this time and place where you find that you have accidents and you have fire, you want insurance for your business. The place that you would have to go to is the CARICOM Insurance, a better value for better protection. Get your ship and cargo covered with us today. CARICOM General Insurance Company, Inc. at 121 Regent and Arnock Streets. To better serve you, you can now purchase your insurance online from the comfort of your home. Telephone 225-1787 or 269-0020. CARICOM General Insurance Company, Inc. In the meantime, yes, so we are going to take a minute break here, and when we come back, I'm going to tell you about two murders. I'm going to tell you about GWI, I'm going to tell you about the pension book, and we are going to take a break right now.
Imagine up to $500,000 cash in your hand. Shop at Singer from now to December 21 and win your share of $2 million. Spend $20,000 or more and be one of 4 winners of $250,000 each. Plus, 2 lucky shoppers will each win $500,000. Get cash in your hand for the Christmas at Singer. With 6 months, no interest, and up to 36 months to pay. Singer at home worldwide.
Thank you very much, and you tuned into the Wake Up Guyana show here on Kaieteur Radio. I'm your host, Leonard Gildarie, and we are going to be having a couple of things that we're going to tell you right now. This morning, I received a call from a sand truck driver, and he's complaining bitterly about the situation along the East Bank. Some days I would go crazy after the sand truck drivers, and what I could tell you that I think they speed too much, they park all over the road, they drive. The driving situations, the drive in manners that could put people in danger. A good gentleman called this morning, sand truck driver, and he's complaining about the attitude of minibus drivers and some car drivers, high cars and so on. He says you're driving, and you know with the big trucks, it's harder to put brakes on the big truck. The braking distance is a little farther than what you would have with a smaller vehicle. And he said these minibuses cutting in and out. He wants us to raise it on the radio. He's also complaining about the parking because you have vendors along the East Bank Demerara. You know, there's been a number of vendors selling fruits, bread, all kind of stuff along these bank there in these makeshift tents and various areas, starting from Peters Hall going on all the way to Diamond there. and he's saying that vehicle travel and they come up and they park right next to them. He says creating a havoc with the situation. What is happening with the authorities? What is happening to our reserves? Now, I'm not saying that people should not be making money, but it's the same thing like squatting. When you start having people squatting all over the place, they eventually come squatting in your yard. What are you going to do about it? When you talk about the living and when you're talking about the laws of Guyana and the reserves are there and you have to adhere it, if you want to do some business, you apply it through the right way and then you try to get a piece of land. Or so cannot just take up lands and just because you're poor to do something like that. I understand. If I'm poor also. Could I just pick up myself and say, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to demand that government give me one of their vehicles. You can't do that. There are procedures, there are systems, and things that you would have to do. So the Ministry of Public Infrastructure, Public Works, rather, the Ministry of Local Government, you need to pay attention there. Minister Nigel Damlal, Minister Juan Edgel, Minister Deodat Sharma. The people are calling you on these bank there to look at some of these vendors along the way. And of course, the Minister of Home Affairs, some of these minibus people got to be pulled into line. They're doing some crazy thing, overtake, undertake, all kind of things, stop in the middle of the road. And of course, I pull alongside somebody and I tell them, you need to put on your face mask. And this is a minibus driver. The entire minibus people are sitting down there, not saying anything. The guy has no mask. He looks at me as if I'm dumb and then drives, and that's how it is. In the meantime, I must tell you a little about two murders that happened today. And let me see, let me just pull that up right now. It is a case that, okay, let me see here. The police force investigate the murder of Alex Margot, age 20th, a fisherman of Perica, Baghdad, by his sister 30. His sister, age 30, a farmer of the said address, which occurred at a residence at about, I think this is yesterday, about 5:45. Just say that the victim resides in one story with his wife and the suspect and her son. So as the man, his wife, his sister, and her son. About 10 o'clock, this is yesterday, they went to the market, they left the market, they went to the suspect, which is his sister's friend's home, located at the First Coca, Perica, where they started to drink. They spent about 2 hours. The suspect started to drink. They arrived home. The deceased and his wife had an argument over food that she prepared for him, which resulted in him pushing her to the ground. While on the ground, he kicked and he slapped her in the presence of the suspect. The suspect intervened and questioned the deceased, which resulted in an argument and a physical altercation. The suspect ran to the kitchen where she picked up a knife and rushed to the deceased where they continued arguing. The suspect then dealt the deceased, stabbed his left side and pulled out the knife. He stumbled outside and fell to the ground. The police were called, the suspect arrested, and they found the murder weapon. The person was taken, the brother was taken to the Leonard hospital, where he was pronounced dead by the doctor, and then escorted to the Ezekiel funeral home. A very sad case, siblings, sister killed brother here. And did she come to the defense of her sister-in-law, the man's common-law wife? We'd have to see whether there's indeed the case or something more. The police are investigating a serious accident, and they're talking about this is on the highway. This is by the Hillfoot Public Road, Soesdijk. A car owned, and apparently the driver overtook him. Another driver overtook him, and they had a collision, lost control there. She was taken. One of the passengers taken to the hospital. There's another story that I really wanted to read to you because it's another sad case. When we lose lives here, when it's COVID-19, whether it's unnatural, the loss of life through any means except the natural means. It's something that we should not take very, very lightly. In this particular case, it's a robbery murder on a 53-year-old businessman at Public Road, Soesdijk. It's set to occur somewhere around 12:30 this morning in the morning hours. By 4, they sent ID mails here, the police are saying. They came with a handgun. The victim lived in a two-story concrete and wooden building. His wife, 42 years old, a businesswoman also. His daughter and his 18-year-old nephew. At about 12:30, the said nephew was sleeping when he was awakened by the two suspects who pointed a handgun to his chest and took him to the victim's room and instructed him to tell the victim to open his bedroom door. And the victim opened, and shortly afterwards, a scuffle between the victim and they shot him in his chest. They demanded money and they escaped. The man was taken to the hospital. Found that the suspect entered through through the lower flat, through a window, and they escaped through a door. This is so extremely sad, that we would be losing our lives like this. GWI now. I need to tell you something about GWI. Many of you would have been calling, and I've been calling for them to come on to this program here to tell us a little about what is happening at GWI, whether it's a little bill, whether it's an application for services, whether it's an increase amount that is being shown on your bill. And they've been very busy. In fact, I did call the PRO office a couple of weeks back. A couple of times I did try to call her. She never got back to me this morning. I was a little incensed, and I made it very, very clear to her. And she says that the GWI PR department, Public Relations Department, is always available to take calls with regards to complaints about people, about what is happening, about your bills, about service, whatever it is. So I'm going to give it to you, and let's see whether it can help you with some of the issues that you have, whether it's issues with your water problems at home, whether not enough pressure, whether no water at all, whether it's a broken line. I'm going to ask you to keep this number here because it is going to help you if anything happens. So that number there is 223-4244. 223-4244. And there's an extension, because when the switchboard rings here, there's an extension that it asks you for. You're asking for the PR department, 1101. 1101. So it's 223-4244. And you go to 1101. 1101 is the extension there. So I hope that is something that you could pay attention to. There's another issue here that you guys would have been raising before we go to the telephone lines. I want to get it out of the way. The National Task Force on COVID-19 over the weekend, apparently they sent, give the Palm Court, and you know Palm Court is one of the more popular night spots around the city, that they've been accused of breaching the COVID-19 curfew regulations as well as other parts of the regulations. And they've been threatened, they've been warned by the National Task Force. It has caused a lot of problems now. Problems in terms of the private sector believe that, why are you targeting Palm Court when other people are also doing it? And so they have taken on that role there of raising the issue against the task force. Many persons would have been asking about what is happening to bars across the place and so on. Can you open back? Based on the information, and I did speak to Mr. I think it's Colonel Nazrul Hussain of the National Task Force there this morning. He did indicate to me that he's going to send his PR persons onto the program. He's going to have a chat with them today. I'm going to have a chat back with them so they could send somebody onto the program. But from all intents and purposes, when it comes to the reopening of your business, you have got to get hold of the COVID-19 regulations, and every month they update it and tell you what could happen, whether we change and we allowing more flights to come into the country. Right about now, you're not supposed to be opening any bars because of the drinking session. That's what I understand. You're not supposed to be allowing anybody into the place. If you want to sell your rum, sell it and let them get out of there. That's what the authorities are saying. They're not allowing you into the place. So I'm just raising this with you so you understand what the people are saying there. I'm going to try to get some more details as to that. I don't have enough at the moment. I'm going to try to get the COVID-19 regulations once again tomorrow to tell you where you could probably get it to, because it's a long list, and I could read it to you too. about some of the places that can be open and that cannot be opened as well. And I don't see rum shops and bars and so on as being part of being reopened. Now, a lot of people complaining too that they have mortgages and so on there. You'd have to wait. We'd have to wait until the government do it. As of now, I am abiding by the curfew, by the regulations, or by the 6 feet distance, social distancing regulations. If you're with your family, make sure that you protect them. I went to Giftland Mall as I had to pick up some emergency stuff for the kids, stationery and wild deer. It was unbelievable the number of persons that's in the mall there. They're walking, I don't feel so good about it. Giftland might have to do something to control it, because if we are in the 23rd of November right now, we're just about a month or so away from Christmas and Boxing Day and New Year's Day. I know that whole season is where people go shopping, so on those who have money. It is going to be a time for you to be very, very careful. So Palm Court, there's some big issues that is coming up there. Can Palm Court open? Can it not open? Why should they open when everybody else are being closed? These are some of the questions, issues that are being raised right now. And as we continue, there's 146 deaths. We're going to 150 deaths when it comes to COVID-19. COVID-19, we would have experienced the first death of a woman who came in from abroad back in March. Since then, it has been, several cases that we would have had in Guyana here. 146 deaths that we have right now. So, folks, I want you to be very, very careful. I want you to take care on the road there, because it's not an easy thing. What I could tell you is that we're about to open the lines now, 622-222. You could also call on 226-7453. The text messages that you're sending is going to go to 622-222. Do not call us on that. Do not call us on 622-222. What you could do is call us right now on 226-7453. Wherever you are, whatever it is that you're doing, you could call right now. Is the lines open up there, my friend? Yes, good afternoon, Collie. On the air, go right ahead. Okay, well, not as yet. In the meantime, while we are waiting, the callers, let me read a couple of messages here from our people. And this is what our people are saying here. Hi, good afternoon. Sorry, the government say no VAT on electricity. Please take a look on this, please. I am going to send this to, let me see, Leonard. I'm going to send this to our people. Okay, thank you very much for that. This person is saying, let me see what they're saying there. There's a VAT. Yes, there's a VAT charge of $1,260 on this particular bill. $1,260. I'm going to send this to our people. Good afternoon. So I look at the program Wake Up Guyana Live. Guyana dead, more people killed in accident by road than COVID-19. What really happened in Guyana? I fully agree with you. If every single day we kill one of our people in the Baghdad especially, we need some more people in the Baghdad there. The police needs to be more in the Baghdad. There seems to be a Wild West situation. If you're a reader and lover of books, novels, and things like that, back in the days of the U.S. Wild West, lots of killings, a lot of gunslinging, everybody do what they want. Let's settle it outside. I'd somebody chop somebody or something, and at the end of the day, we are much the loser of it, because you have to put policemen on that. Families lose out, all because there's not enough monitoring there in the Baghdad, either by GGMC or the police. We've got to stop that and starting, and it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse as more people come into the country and look for somewhere they can make some money. Do we have a call online right now? Yes, good afternoon, caller. You on the air, go right ahead. No, we missed that call there. Let me see what is it that the people are saying here. Good day to you, your Boston list. Since 1966, 4 years ago, Oneida Avenue and Ubani Avenue streets were built. I think this is in Bel Air or somewhere there, Camberville. Ubani and Oneida were built by Rickett and Wilson. Since then, it has never resurfaced. Because of the diversions of traffic, both streets are in dire need of urgent refurbishing. Also, when the rain falls, there is no way for people to walk. My main points are that I heard that the council have only Ubani Avenue Street and not Oneida Avenue on the agenda to be resolved. I see it as a total injustice to the residents of Oneida Avenue. Also, when there's a traffic build-up in the Oneida Avenue, that will damage further. Thank you very much. My second contribution today is about the violence against women. I salute the woman for taking a stand of violence against women. the 31-year-old woman who stabbed her 20-year-old brother. What she did was try to protect another woman who was being physically abused. However, in the course of protection, a weapon was used. Don't know how the law sees it. What I'd like to see that various organizations who calls themselves this and that, etc., take a stand or even beg for mercy. Although I know there may be consequences, I believe this case is exceptional. Had I been a judge in this particular case, I might have recommended a medal of bravery for protecting women and issue her with a firearm license. Condolences to the family of the deceased. Thank you very much. Let me address this right there and then. We cannot take the laws into our own hands. What we could also not do, and every case is going to be different. The court look at it while somebody is going to appear before court. I think if she's charged with manslaughter, that it wasn't deliberate, that she set out with the intent to kill him. In this case, it could be aggravation, that he was beaten up on this woman on the floor, and maybe she loved her sister-in-law. So many things, so many questions that are going to be coming out of this particular case. But let's don't take it into our own hands and believe that the law is going to frown upon it and, just allow you to get away. However, in this particular case, the person is right. We have many organizations in Guyana, and sometimes these are very poor people, might not know a little better, and they have children and so on. And so you take them away because the court system, the laws demand that you take them away, put them into the court and the prison system. Good thing about it, if it's a manslaughter charge, which is a lesser count of murder, there could be probably some bail for this woman. So let's see. We are going to continue to follow it and see where it goes. At this point in time, is there a call in line? Yes, good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. Go right ahead.
Good afternoon, Mr. Leonard.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Go right ahead.
I'm calling to find out when Mr. Riaz can do the book. I was once in his place a piece of time.
Which book? I'm not sure what you're talking about.
But Mr. Riaz, I'm talking about the stress and suicide book.
Oh, there's Mr. Niaz Suban. Oh, yes. I think he's looking to have it published. The publication is where you have to get money and take it to a printery and so on. There's some money that's involved there. I'm going to ask him, but I'm not sure if the book is available. Maybe he could share it online or something. I'm probably going to ask him. You were in that place, you said?
Yes, Mr. Leonard.
And you're doing a little better now?
I was once in that place, and it makes me cry. I send a text and tell you.
I thank you. I think I can remember. I hear you, my sister, and let me tell you, it's a topic that I'm very passionate about, for the simple reason my family would have suffered immensely because of one member with suicide and so. And it's something I really thank you very much for reaching out to us. Are you talking to somebody?
Yes, I heard when you say about your mother.
Right. I don't even like talking about it because it brings a lot of pain. But are you talking to somebody? Are you in a better place right now?
Yeah, Mr. Leonard. So far, by the grace of God. But
talk to somebody.
When I heard things like that, it makes me cry.
Yes, I hear you. I want you to talk to somebody, even if you believe, although I'm so busy, if you want to talk to somebody, I could put you on to somebody. I think the Ministry of Human Services says they're doing some counseling. They're starting to put some experts into the area so people could just walk into places and so. But if you feel that you're in a...
My pastor is talking, I just put out my story to my pastor, and he was counseling me, he and his wife.
I really thank you for reaching out and sharing it with us, because that's part of the healing also. When we in a very dark place and so things, you don't have to have an issue. Some people just go into depression. People have anxiety attacks and all kind of things just because they might not. Myself, I could take a lot of stress, but not everybody could take it. They go into a very dark place. So I hear what you're saying there. I thank you for sharing that story there. I hope that you're doing better. Whenever you want to call us, please feel free to do that.
Okay, Mr. Leonard.
Thank you, my dear.
You have a blessed rest of the week.
Yes, my dear, and thank you very much. Much love. Somebody loves you, okay?
Yes, Mr. Leonard.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
And that in itself, wherever you are today, and let me say it to you, starting with this radio program here, I had many opportunities to just walk away after the elections would have been finished. We just did it for the elections. Um, Dr. Yoga, myself, after I came on, and then he joined me, and then we evolved into those daily programs, and then we went into the night programs with Room 592. The overwhelming support that we would have had from the people who were tuned in, because they saw something that we were saying to them that tugged at their heartstrings or so. I couldn't stop for the daytime, because I realized that there was a big gap. There's a big hole that is there that the people really need to reach out. The government can't do everything. I'm not sure at what point in time I'm going to say that enough is enough, that I need to move on and do something else. Every single day my life is centered around this. My boss is getting very upset because I put aside my work downstairs, but I said this has to be done, because the people have a demand and we have to do it. And to hear from that lady there who has reached out to us, she's crying, and I want to say to you that you're a very brave person. I want to say to you that we understand. Also, we empathize with you. You have our support with you. If there's any point in time that you feel that you can't take it anymore, call somebody, talk to somebody. There's always something that you can do. But we understand that there are people out there that might not, you might be very down and not of good spirits for the day because of whatever situation that you're facing. It could be a money situation, it could be a domestic with your husband, your wife, your children, and so on. Some days I look at my kid, my son, and I'm going through something. I'm going to share it with you one of these days. My little son, I love him to death, and I don't know as a parent how to deal with it. But it gets me a little depressed at times, or I feel strongly with it, but I have to deal with it. But what do? You have to talk about it. You have to deal with it. You cannot just give up your lives. Remember, one very important thing: whenever it comes to suicide and depression, which both are interlinked, people can't take it. Maybe they lost the business or so. What you do there, that ultimate act that is being done, it affects, it devastates, it leaves holes that can never be healed. It takes, say, time heals everything. We could forget, the pain is going to be less raw, but it's always going to be there. And you always ask yourself, like in my case, could I have done something? Could I have reached out? Could I have paid a little more attention? Could I have take time to stop with regards to my mom? It is a question that I live with. The pain is not so much, it's been 7 years now. The pain is not so much there right now, but I still do think of her, because she was a very strong woman, but she was also very fragile, and maybe we didn't pay much attention. Whatever it is, her death did not go in vain. I've decided to share it and let it. I'm hoping that right across this beautiful country, and wherever it is that you're listening, that it could be a lesson. It could be something that could give you strength as we go forward in this beautiful country. It's not all about money, but it's about us giving each other that shoulder to support each other from. So I hope that my lesson here today, it isn't that I'm looking for recognition. I don't seek that. In fact, if I could shelter somewhere away from the spotlight which this program has trusted me on, I'd have a preference for that, because it could be a little overwhelming at times. But the support that I've gotten from you guys has really given me a lot of encouragement. It has given me a lot of hope for this country of ours. I believe we could go into a better place. I believe that we could do better. We could force our government. Well, I believe that this government wants to do better. I believe that their finale wants to leave a legacy. And I am going to continue to push them using the forum that we have here, whether it is that I write in the newspaper, whether it is that I am on radio. I am going to push them. I saw a little girl this morning. I saw her story last week. wrote her exam, one of the top students of the school, and can't continue because of finance. She got to work and she wants to continue. She wants to become an accountant. I was thinking of asking Glenn for a job, and I said, no, you continue in your school right about now because it is important. Make the sacrifice. I can remember my days. Um, Not afraid to talk about it, but I hope that I've given you some strength there, and let us see how we could be able to work together to build ourselves, build our country as we go forward. I know many of you are listening. I do get calls after the show sometimes, and people are crying. It is okay. There's nothing wrong with crying. Men cry, women cry, everybody cries. There's nothing wrong in showing emotions, whether it's tears of joy, tears of sorrow, tears because the story has touched our hearts. Thank you very much for that. So it is coming on to about 1:58. Let me read a couple of messages. Leonard, and this is coming from my dear friend Derek Hawker. May Allah continue to bless the government of Guyana with wisdom. Sir, the United Kingdom has created a mess in the British Guyana with a divide and conquer mentality, which leads to senseless murders and looting. It's clear that the government from the 1962 to present have not learned the lesson of divide and conquer. There's no moral leadership. People are hungry and squatting in one of the richest pieces of land in the world. Now we blaming Exxon for taking advantage of our resources. Where are our technocrats, economists, financial advisors, etc., to interact with Exxon so the people of Guyana can be the beneficiaries of our resources? Here again, we have the influential corporate attorneys from Exxon interacting with skullduggery parties of our government who are clueless. Why should the poor Indo and Afro-Guyanese fight each other when the wealth of our country is being sold out to the highest bidders? The world is laughing at Guyana. May Guyana continue. May God bless the Republic of Guyana. Thank you very much. Of course, good afternoon, Mr. Gildarie. I'm tuned in from Diamond. I couldn't hear but text you when I heard how you interacted with that lady on the phone, especially when you told her that somebody loves you. It's absolutely touched my heart. I was on the verge of tears. Sometimes we all need to be told those things and to have somebody to talk to, no matter what we have gone through. God bless you. Thank you very much, dear my brother. Those words mean a lot. Good afternoon, sir. With this COVID, I think that people are wearing the mask, but they're not sanitizing their hands. They touch all things all over the place, then hold their mask. Yes, thank you very much for that. Sometimes we need to keep reminding ourselves how serious this thing is. Don't do it for yourself if you don't want to take care of yourself. Do it for your children. Do it for your friends. Do it for your loved ones, your parents, your the elderly persons in your home. Because, at the end of the day, we need to be responsible. Do not look for today and then you forget about tomorrow. If you have an underlying condition and you end in the hospital, it could this COVID-19, this coronavirus, into no player. It's not a game that we play in here. I touch or I miss or I go because if you go, there's a hit and miss. I'm not going to get it because, I don't think he has it. That's not the kind of attitude. Assume that everybody else has it, and you have to take the necessary precautions to make sure that you don't have it. Let me see what else has happened. Do we have another call online? We don't happen to have it. Right about now, it is our insurance time, and I'm going to read it to you very, very quickly. What is it that you need to know about your insurance? A better value for better protection. Get your ship and cargo covered today. CARICOM General Insurance Company, Inc. at 121 Regent and Arnock Streets. To better serve you, you can now purchase your insurance online from the comfort of your home. Telephone 225-1787. or 269-0020. Wherever it is that you're joining us from today, we are going to tell you that you tuned in to the Wake Up Guyana show as usual, coming to you weekdays, 5 days a week here on Kaieteur Radio, 99.1, 99.5 if you're in Berbice, or of course Kaieteur Radio on Facebook or Kaieteur Radio live stream on YouTube. We are going to go back to our lines. Do we happen to have a caller? Okay, so we're going to take a break now, and then when we come back, we are going to be opening those lines. Just bear with us a moment, and we're going to be back with you.
Nice up your home for Christmas at Singer. Spend $20,000 or more between now and December 21st and be one of 4 winners of a Singer 55-inch Ultra HD television. Singer at home worldwide.
Imagine up to $500,000 cash in your hand. Shop at Singer from now to December 21 and win your share of $2 million. Spend $20,000 or more and be one of 4 winners of $250,000 each. Plus, 2 lucky shoppers will each win $500,000. Get cash in your hand for the Christmas at Singer. With 6 months, no interest, and up to 36 months to pay. Singer at home worldwide.
Yes, good afternoon. Welcome back to the Wake Up Guyana show here on Kaieteur Radio. And you are tuned into your favorite daytime show. It is not here to wake up in the morning, but to wake up your soul for you to smell the coffee as to what could be possible in this beautiful country of ours. Hi, Mr. Gildarie. Good afternoon. I have a concern. I do hope that you'd be able to help in this matter by using good office in intervening with this matter. I have to purchase it. I purchased a travel ticket with Leonard Airline on the 6th of March 2020 to attend the church conference on the 3rd of April 2020 from Guyana, St. Vincent. However, due to the global pandemic which resulted in the closing of the airport, I was able to travel. Unable, I think you're saying. Having made contact with Leonard Airline, I was made to understand that Leonard is not responsible for any refund upon the ticket purchase. Then we were subsequently told that the ticket would be valid for 1 year. However, my purpose of traveling was to attend the church convention, which was also forced to be postponed due to the global pandemic. And we're still in a pandemic crisis. I hope that you could find some time to read this message and say that what help I have to go through your generous intervention. Thank you very much. The person said that they listened to the program. Let me tell you what you could do. There is the Consumers Affairs Division. Let me see. Let me give you a number right now. 1 second. Just bear with me, folks. Let me just give this lady this thing here. In the meantime, do we have a call online? We don't happen to have a call. I wonder if our telephone lines are working. Competition. Let me see. Okay, I don't happen to have that number. I'm going to get that number for you, ma'am, and I'm going to read that number out to you. Hi, Leonard. Good afternoon. I live in the Wayne Bloomfield area, NDC. My street is in need of repair. The NDC, they don't have materials to fix it. No crush and run since 2017. I've been in complaint since 2013. The NDC with no results. I have to take time to fix it with bricks. However, the chairman street can be fixed several times. I also cap it asphalt. The side, the chairman and the minister are properly fixed. Meanwhile, there are 2 councils in my street. This thing is very, very simple. You could write a letter to the NDC, copy it to the RDC, and to the Minister of Local Government. This is Nigel Damrell. And let me tell you that in one way, you could also send it to the Kaieteur Radio, Kaieteur newspaper. And let me just have it published in the newspaper if you're not getting. I can't understand you being a counselor that they're not paying attention to that. Somebody has to pay attention, and especially if you're living in the street, you're the chairperson, you're fixing it. Something is wrong with that picture there. I don't understand, and that's why I come back and when I talk every single day about the shortcomings of our NDCs and the RDCs and so on. I have a justification in saying that if they could get their act together, it would be so much more easier on the government of the day because they could concentrate on the bigger things. And you could have a better quality of life in your neighborhood because your neighborhood is going to be cleaner. It's going to be, you walk through. Imagine the days of having tree-lined avenues, having proper drainage, that your drain could be concrete drains, that garbage are being collected at 3 o'clock in the morning while you're sleeping and not 7 o'clock in the morning, that people are working while you're sleeping, that you could be able to have less mosquitoes. You could wish for some of those things. Don't you want it to be? Do we have a caller on the air? Yes, good afternoon, caller on the air. Go right ahead.
Hi, Leonard.
Yes, it is. Go right ahead, ma'am.
Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
And I really miss you.
You miss me? All right.
Your voice.
Okay. What's happening up in
trying-
Burby? It's rains?
I'm trying every day to call you, but I'm not getting through after no call on a day, Mr. Vecon call.
All right. No problem. How are you doing? What's happening up there?
Nothing really happened. Only the NDC not do their work.
Well, there's a problem all over the country. We be trying to wake them up now. They're sleeping. They've forgotten what they were being put there for.
But they are getting their pay. They just have to
No,
do
they're
their
not
work.
getting a lot of pay really. There's some NDC councillors who are doing. There's a small stipend, but they have overseers. They have rangers. You see, here the funny thing is when you tell the people that you want them to vote you in as NDC councillors, there's a responsibility that comes with it. You have to give service. What are you going there for? To be called a councillor? You're in the wrong business. You need to get out.
Yes.
So that's it.
When voting time meet, me able to go, me get high pressure, but still me try reach and me vote for them.
Yes, it is.
Still they don't doing their work.
No, but we got to start putting pressure on them too. You can't have them, we can't have people just believing that they could do the people of Guyana that and get off with it,
How them a clean them area, and they can't clean nowhere else.
Right. And that's what the person is complaining. The person says they have two councillors living in my street. And not fixing my street, but the chairman fixed the street. The Wim area.
Yeah.
So there's something they need to fix it, man. I thank you very much, and I hope that you're doing well.
And when voting time, when we vote, me able to go. My husband got hold my hand to climb out the step, and people just back off and give me on space. Just to vote to have a president.
All right. I hope that you're doing better, that you could be able to make decisions. When you see them that you got to vote for them, vote for people who you know you will work for you. You understand?
And you know one thing, me really hurt when me hear the lady talk just now, how she start cry.
Yeah. Because
Remember sometime in life I get tears too and heart.
Of course.
So,
There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with us saying that we've had a bad day. There's nothing wrong with saying that I do cry sometimes. There's nothing wrong with saying that I messed up. That I'm going to do it better. That I'm going to correct that also. There's nothing wrong with that, and we have to reach out.
A lot of time, as long as you live, you get hurt. Right now, me pressure all high, me in hurt, and why? To go for collect my pension book tomorrow.
Yes.
Me so stressed out. Oh God, I'm pressure on high picnic.
Yes. All right. Thank you very much as always. It's a pleasure hearing from you. Okay.
Yeah, picnic. Take care. Have a blessed time, and you will always be blessed.
Thank you very much.
Continue to do the good work that you are doing there. Each word is a blessing to us.
Thank you very much, and all the best to the people in the Berbice area there. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Yeah, different 58, right?
Yes, ma'am, I know. Thank you very much. All the way there from Berbice, number 58 village, the lady has been calling, has always had some very positive words for the people of Guyana. I did this person here that did ask us about LIAT and that issue there. I think the Guyana competition, and let me tell you what's the name of it. It's the Guyana Competition and Consumer Affairs Commission. In Guyana, we have some bodies that looks after the rights of the consumers. And there's a number here that I could give you to call, and you could make a complaint to them and see where it takes you there. The number is 219. And in fact, for anybody who has any issues, you walk into the store, you buy something, you don't like it, and the store gives you a hard time, this is a number that you call. They are a body that has been set up by the government, Guyana Competition and Consumer Affairs Commission. The number is 219-4410. 219-4410. They're located in the Sophia area there. So thank you very much for that. In the meantime, I think also, before we go back to the line, do we have another caller on line? Yes, good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. Go right ahead.
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon, sir. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Hi.
Hi.
I just want to know the money, the grant, the 25,000. My in-laws in Horstelin Farm and on Covert Garden, they haven't received anything.
Because they have not come to the Demerara areas yet. They're in, I think, West Berbice, I think it is. They're in the West Berbice area. They've gone to all the other regions. They're keeping Region 4 for last because that's the most troublesome one. they have a lot of people renting and all kind of thing down here. So if you're not joining us, I think the question by the caller is what is happening with the $25,000 for Region 4. The authorities have not announced anything for Region 4 yet. We are waiting on that. What we could tell you is that the Minister of Education is leading a team which has gone to Berbice, and it is in Region 4 right now, and they're sharing out a $4,000 voucher to each student in the public school. So if you have 5 children in the house, they're going to have $4,000 each. That is what they're doing at the moment. So in the meantime, do we have another caller on line? Good afternoon, caller. Good afternoon, caller. You're in the air. Go right ahead.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Gildarie.
Good afternoon, sir.
I call in concerning social assistance.
Uh-huh.
I made an application, and so other people made applications, and they say we have to wait on some boards. Well, you know, they're pretty busy because it's not an unusual sort of period now with the COVID and extra funds going out and so. But I don't know if you could look into it and find out when this board is going to be formed.
All right, and this is at the Ministry of Human Services.
Yeah, by either by the hospital Eastern Lamar Street.
I know where it is. In fact, I'm supposed to have Minister Vinay Prasad sometime this week here. But how long did you apply?
About 2 or 3 months, you know, and a little thing.
Yeah, they got a very serious problem. I think most of the ministries, like especially Ministry of Human Services, the Ministry of Human Services and the Ministry of Health are two of the most troublesome, and the Ministry of Education that find it very hard right now because of the COVID. Some of the people that are doing it, I think they have found themselves overwhelmed.
Spread itself out a little bit.
Yeah, it's a big problem, especially the Ministry of Health as well, because they got a shortage. They got a shortage of drugs there and so too. All right, I'm going to raise this issue with her as soon as she comes in, and then find out what board it is. All right.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. You tuned in to the Wake Up Guyana show here on Kaieteur Radio, and let me tell you, what is the ministry going to do about the school because the children are getting COVID? I think they should close them all back till everything is under control. And this is an issue I think they must be paying attention to. It's a big issue, this school thing, that you know, what do you do? Do you keep the school remain, or do you find some semblance, some kind of model that you could be able to have the schools reopen? Having the kids at home all the time while parents are working might not be such a good idea. I think there's so many factors that has to be taken into that. We are going to continue to raise the issue. I was trying to get Priya Manikchan as the Minister of Education onto the program, but she's summing up the East Coast there, and I know they're very busy with that. They're trying to come up with, see how they could send some monies to the families, put monies in the hands of some poor families there. In addition to $25,000, I think this cash grant, the cash voucher grant, is well, it's not cash, it's a voucher grant that allows you to shop at certain places. Is going to be some help for the parents. Mr. Gildarie, good afternoon. I live in Agricola and we did not get water since last night. Thank you very much. I am going to send this to the ministry. What I could tell you to do for the person who's tuned in from Agricola there, the Agricola person there, please, I'm going to give you the number that I called out not too long ago. The number is for GWI. Please call GWI and get on to them. And the number is 223-4244, 223-4244, extension 1101. 223-4244, extension 1101. That's the Public Relations Department. They said they're very willing to take all the calls right now. Good afternoon. Here's a concern I'm experiencing with the burning of garbage every day in my area. That's in Monrepo, East Coast, Demerara. I reported the matter after a long drawn-out process. They eventually told me to contact my NDC, which I did. And the NDC said they're not responsible for the burning, that I should go to EPA. Let me tell you what you could do there. Thank you very much for that. Write a letter to the newspaper saying that you live in this area here, because you can make a complaint, raise it, and name them. Name the NDC, which the NDC it is, and name the EPA. I am out highlighting this matter at the moment, but you need to also do a couple of things. So you could probably write us a letter. If not, write a letter to the Minister of Local Government that the NDC is not doing anything, because the EPA I mean, I can't understand that the EPA is going to know that you're burning garbage, but the NDC, you make complaints to them and it says, not my problem. If you're burning garbage there, you must know that you're affecting somebody, especially garbage. You know what's garbage? Garbage, there's so many fumes that's coming. It takes away from your peace. Why is it that we have people still doing that at this day and age? If you want to do it, carry it somewhere else and burn it. Do not burn it in the neighborhood. If you light a few branches and you're burning something, but even that too, because the smoke and the stuff that comes from the fire flies into the people's yard, on their homes, in onto the ground and things like that. It's a lot of problems. I could tell you because we experienced it in Diamond there when the canes and so on. Good afternoon. Just a reminder to allow the Minister of Education to focus on having the secondary teachers training college in Region 2 at least before March. Thank you very much for that. The folks in Region 2 want a teachers training place there. Let me see what these people are saying here. And somebody sent me the picture there, the person with regards to the burning of garbage here. Yes, and yeah, you got to be very careful. Do we have a call in line? Good afternoon, caller on the air. Go right ahead. Hello. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Listen to me carefully. Are you there?
Yes, I'm listening to you. Go right ahead.
You remember me call a couple times ago that concerning police force.
Uh-huh.
The police force, some of them might do the thing, but when you do your work, you have to do it from top to bottom. And the police force in this country is one of the slackest police forces yet. And I'm going to tell you why. There are a lot of drugs and marijuana sell all over the place. And the police, them go. People are going to tell them, and I'm going to go and collect their money and gone away. And believe you want me to tell you, I know for a fact that this happened. They don't care. The police don't care. And let me tell you the next thing again. You see all this bribery will pass, and I'm a blame policeman for that. It's the people who are driving minibus and the car being getting charged, and instead of going to court to pay a fine of $12 or $15 or $20,000, and just dish out on $5,000 and then gone away. It become a practice because the policeman know what I'm getting. You know, every traffic cop in this country, if they make 100,000 or 50,000 for the day, then I feel nice. Believe what I'm telling you, man. And the government can't do nothing about it. They can't do nothing about it. The only way that the government can come in is the people who will give the money and I'm going to take price, video and clap up in him. And let me tell you something, enough of the police commander and all that thing this, they're a pack a bunch of them. And they need to dismiss some of these people. Look how my gun missing. Look how my money missing. And still got them there. What the president is doing. So
well, I think a couple of people, I think some heads are going to roll. I can tell you that. I'm hearing that a couple of people have been implicated and the heads got to roll. I can't tolerate anybody sitting at my company, at my ministry, and you allow that.
The president of Sri Lanka, I alone, get all these things, all the facts. And the minister, what shake back, what the government, our president put a shake back for, he must come out and meet the people in different regions. He mustn't sit in the office. People are punish water, man. It's the same square one every day. Some day you get a little, some day you get that's not all. And if you got 2 black tanks, when you can get it and full of water, you're in trouble.
Yes, it is. I'm not sure, but I called. I don't even want to say it. You know, some days they tell me shut them out because as I always get myself in trouble.
That is the same square one. You give a number for calling people. They say they will take it. You know, you give an S number, you give this number, you give that number. We don't call them a dancing phone. They aren't concerned, buddy. This country, they're in a turmoil. I am telling you, man, in a turmoil. Because, listen carefully. Pensioner, they're lucky they get a nice pension. Who okay, they say they're going to get their money. You understand that? You understand? The old age pension is coming. But this country is in turmoil, and this government has got to fix it now. Because they do a lot of bamboo shit. They all thinking about themselves, brother. Mm-hmm. And look at all the land and the money and all kind of thing, billions of dollars. When I'm under the budget, me not see construction what I'm do. The budget of a full pocket. And if people in this country I can clean when the next election come and put back a big government. It's just a waste of time, some of them. That's every win. You go out and vote and make it more strong, more big, so that has nothing to say in Parliament. You understand me? The more seat you get, the more thing. Look what Trump will do. Trump just like a Granger and the whole pack a bunch of them on there. You can see it. I watch any news, overseas news more than Guyana news, you know, man.
Yeah, yeah. All right, I thank you very much for that, man.
Donald Recount. Right? I told you. Now you want back on the Recount. You don't see the man that pack of shit, he shares shit in his head. Let me tell you something. An old man beat another young man. We call him young man.
Yeah.
Trump. And he, a young man beat an old man.
All right.
What's going on?
I hear what you're saying there, and thank you very much for that as always,
Yeah,
okay? Thank you very much.
I just cannot say, brother, let me tell you something. And this post office, people go for money. The government must ensure that they put a toilet with toilet bowl and everything. Because when people, you in the post office, they're paying, then thing not function. You understand me?
Thank you very much for that. That's an issue that I would have to raise. Thank you very much for that.
Yes.
Okay,
Thank
good.
you.
Thank you. So there's been a call there by a senior citizen for all post offices to have working toilets because, you have people going there and, people don't have any kind of convenience. And, at least these are the things that really people look forward to. But to come back to bribery and the corruption and so on that is happening in this place, this country of ours, it looks as if it's going to take something to really root it out. I'm not sure what it is. We can only talk about it. But it's like a culture. If your leaders are showing it, the people are seeing it. If you have politicians and you see this land story that's happening on the East Bank at the moment there, and they're saying that because you were in there and you had a contact, you could get some land free and then flip it, sell it back. Because you got it, you weren't supposed to do anything with it, you're supposed to develop it. But you could turn it and sell it to somebody when you're not supposed to do that. By all means, and you make $200 million, and then somebody else see it. If you can thief, I can thief too. That's the insinuation. So the insinuation is that the people, is a culture here. If the police know that you're thieving up there, they could take a bribe with the coroner here, and it goes on and on and on. You go to GPO, you want a birth certificate fast, you pay $500 there, $1,000 there. You hear what the man says? Some policemen don't feel comfortable if they don't make $100,000 a day or $50,000 a day. These are things that should be deeply worrying because it strikes to the very heart of when you want to develop this place. If you have children, would you want to bring your children up in a situation like this where all the cops on the road seems everybody that comes out of school want to become a traffic cop? Why? Or back in my days, it used to be a customs officer. With all due respect to the customs officer there right now. But if you want to make some fast money, becomes a customs officer. That's what they say. So you just go into a GRA, work at GRA, and you make some money. Same thing, become a traffic cop. It becomes a cultural thing. We need to get out. We need to root it out. How do we do it? I don't have the answers for that. So we are tuned in to the Wake Up Guyana show here. It's just about 2:26. Do we have a call in line? Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air.
Hi, good afternoon, my brother.
Good afternoon, man.
How are you doing?
Good afternoon, dear man. Yes. Pretty good.
I want to know something. How long now you got this program? People talking about NDC. What happened? These NDC chairmen, they vote for the government 2 times. Forget them in.
Well, it's a lot of questions as to whether they're not paying attention.
Answered because I don't see you got your finale there. We don't. Let me tell you something, sir. When you want to call somebody honorable minister or his excellency president, you got to show the people them that you're great. You can't want me call you honorable and his excellency and you're doing nothing. These NDC chairman, till next 5 years you got this program, people go tell you about NDCs. You got to be these guys and vote 2 times, forget this government in. That this government can get them out. So you agree with me?
Well, let me tell you something. I don't agree with people going and ask me for my vote and going in there and do absolutely nothing. You need to get out yourself because you see, if you're going in there, you got to know what you want to do. And if you're not fulfilling the mandate of the people, get the hell out. It's simple as that.
But
Get the
now,
hell out.
Here what happen? These councillors, they're going there for get of money. And when they go in there, they're afraid to talk to people. We want people like me, man. When you see I was a representative of the estate, them money, they just frighten me. They just frighten me because me ask them some questions. They cannot answer me. Because they come as managers and they doesn't know the past name or whatever. Me just ask them and they can't tell me. So before they come here to me, they just keep moving.
Yeah, I hear what you say.
You know what I mean?
We need some strict
you
people.
can't
What?
be one president and that NDC chairman like those.
You know, I was reading a story over the weekend. America is so strict with the laws. There was a big star that everybody knew about him. His name is Wesley Snipes.
Yeah.
And he wasn't paying his taxes. You know, he ended up serving some time.
Right.
Now, in Guyana, when you hear the tax man, I have some families, and they probably won't want me to tell the story. So, distant relatives,
Yeah.
they went over there illegal, and then they started working, and they weren't paying no taxes, and then they put in for the documents start coming through, and they put in, I think, for some social assistance. And then the people them decide to find out you weren't paying no taxes, social assistance.
Yeah.
You know, it hold up the whole process of their documentations going through to become legal in the United States of America. Across there, when you see the taxman come to you or send you a letter, you better heed by it because they could make life very miserable for you. Leonard told us a story. A man was drunk, and I think I did tell his story. He was drunk, or something happened. I think he felt sick or something. Driving, hit into a power post or something,
Yeah.
and that threw out power. I think internet, and so it damaged the box, and so
Yeah.
he died. His family lost the house because the company has to get back the money.
Right.
So in Guyana, guess what? You steal
That is-
$150 million. Oh, I don't know who think it. Matt swept on the carpet. 150 guns? Oh, that happened under the coalition time. Swept under the carpet, or nobody do anything, or it doesn't go anywhere. You know why? Because we take the same police officers to investigate the case. Where are we going?
Well, you can't go nowhere.
You can't go nowhere.
Going down instead up.
No, you
But
can't go
what me
nowhere.
say, sir, let it get out PVP. These same people then what call about NDC, myself too. And let me get out this PVP and the PNC from this place, man. Let me get a new party.
Who you gonna put?
Let me put you got Schumann, you got too much of them.
All right.
And we
That's
gotta give
understood.
somebody one chance and then nobody. You know, sometimes you might get one axe doll, and you go a new one, and the new one handle broken. You say old one go down the tree.
Right. Well, let's see what happened. Let's see. I thank you very much. You've raised some very good points here.
This thing is overbearing. What is place condition? If everybody has cleaned them place, yes. But you got some people that throw them thing out on the road.
Yeah, because we have a bunch, that's why I keep saying we have a bunch of indisciplined people in this country. We want everything to be given to us on a silver platter. We don't want to do anything. We expect the government to do everything.
But if you pay rates and tax, what you want is...
No, but hold on. The issue is, they have two issues here.
Yeah.
If you're paying rates and taxes, the NDC got to do things. But why you continue to throw your garbage over the fence or throw it wherever it
No,
is?
but that is wrong.
That's the issue. That's the
I
point.
will give who wrong. But one year said, when you do this kind of thing, like you clean your own place, the NDC chairman, you go drink whiskey. You don't see the NDC chairman move around.
Right.
You don't know who is the NDC chairman.
That's correct. And we
that
got to
is very
start.
bad.
Open your mouth,
Where is
smell,
the
you know?
president? Where is the finally? I got something to tell Mr. The boss about when he was
All right.
minister.
I hear you. I hear you. What you say.
Nothing what you do. And that can't come out funny because that's gay in him.
All right. Thank you very much. It's 2:30,
thank you, my
and thank you very much for coming through here. You're tuned into the Wake Up Guyana show here on Kaieteur Radio. We are going to take a break, and when we come back, more calls, more comments. Time to Wake Up Guyana.
Nice up your home for Christmas at Singers. Spend $20,000 or more between now and December 21st and be one of 4 winners of a Singer 55-inch Ultra HD television. Singer at home worldwide.
Imagine up to $500,000 cash in your hand. Shop at Singer from now to December 21 and win your share of $2 million. Spend $20,000 or more and be one of 4 winners of $250,000 each. Plus, 2 lucky shoppers will each win $500,000. Get cash in your hand for the Christmas at Singer. With 6 months, no interest, and up to 36 months to pay. Singer at home worldwide.
Thank you very much, and you're welcome. Welcome back again to the Wake Up Guyana show here on Kaieteur Radio. We coming to you live from our studio down on Saffron Street, Charleston, Georgetown. Good day, Leonard. I can't believe that although we have COVID in Guyana, people in Esquimalt still continue to have big wedding parties, also big funerals, and no one doing nothing. No one doing nothing because the police not doing anything. The police just up and down looking to see who breaking the traffic laws and things like that. No monitoring. Nobody's doing anything. I think when you hold a funeral, you're supposed to inform the police or something. What has happened in there? Have you received those things? You keep in wake? Are the people coming there? How many persons are gathered at the house? Are you practicing social distancing? No, but we continue. We want to do the wrong thing, and you want to learn story or you want to hear story. Pick up the phone, call the United States of America, call your family, and see how the people are doing it across there. Find out why is it that they're progressive, and why is it that we stuck in a place which is not being so good. Yes, the cynics in us, or the cynics among us, are gonna say that America isn't in a good place. You see what Donald Trump is doing, and a whole bunch of other stuff. But when you realize that for all the problems that they have there, the systems are gonna work somewhat. We have got to start ensuring that our systems work. We got to start looking at the people who are supposed to be doing their work and start imploring, start calling on them, start bullying them, start calling them out, start naming and shaming them. That's what we got to do. They need to do their job. They've asked us to put them in that place to do the job. You don't do the job, then you need to get out. Walk through the door, pick up your bag, pick up everything that belongs to you, hand back the people property. We're going to find somebody else to do it. There are mechanisms for that. Do not continue to just sit there and talk nonsense every single day in the statutory meetings and you don't deliver. That's the point. So you tuned in to the Wake Up Guyana show. We have just, it's about 2:34 right now, and we are going to tell you that do not call us on 62222. I cannot take those calls at the moment. Let me see what it is that the people are saying here. Okay, somebody's sending that. Do we have another caller online there, my friend? Yes, good afternoon, caller. You on the air. Go right ahead.
Hey, Larry, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Sometimes I wonder if you're living in this country or you living out this country. And the fellas think just now about the police, you're like, so what this fella saying is fact, but listen, I want to get over there. You see, in 2015, when we had a change of government, the previous administration with the Rice Kingdom test the grounds, and the people stand up to the parking meter. Now, since after then, no leaders of people standing up. This is what the crisis. I live in perfect harmony, and I tell you, since they got the change in government, we want the pressure drop. And it's not only me, you just read it out, they got a lot of places, but here Sheikh Bashi just stay. Sheikh Bashi would break up a system and then rebuild it back. Now, why is it that he ain't coming out and tell this nation what is the reason for this water pressure drop? What is the reason for that? They're just stuck in a field. Well, yes, people owe them that this nation owe them something. It's not there in place to solve these people. Why is it Sheikh Bashi he's sending no representative to tell people why after the election the water pressure drop? This is foolishness.
Yeah, it is. I called one of the PR.
Hold on before you go on, right?
Uh-huh.
I think this is where the system needs to start working. I mean, anything I see mobilized in terms of the people standing up, I am prepared to be there because I always be there and I just want my face to show. But what I'm saying is this is where you and you gotta come into place, because this is the promise y'all actually give to this nation, to demand Sheikh Bash to come and show you face and send somebody. You need to let these people come out and work now. This is foolishness. Sheikh Bash went there before. Why is it Sheikh Bash is sending nobody or coming and tell nobody why you have to change the government? It's why the pressure drop. You speaking about it actually every day. People sending you message. Prior to people sending you message, it's a light back and he just took in. But for me, I know Sheikh Bash them. They would break up a system, then they're going to float the paper and tell you that it costs $50 million. And then they ain't got nobody but the Auditor General would just do a yearly report, say, look, it's rubbish. They had over $45 million, we call it. We call it the variation. The project will start from 20 and then it's going to run till over to 35 million. This is the foolishness we about to see in this place. And it's, I'm of this opinion. Sheikh Bash them testing the grounds.
Well, we will see. This, we have some very strong people. I think after 2015, with that water system that we had, the parking meter system, I have the impression that people are not going to sit down that easily. You would have seen what happened during the elections time too. People are not they're going to open them out, and trust me, I think especially when it comes to service, we're going to see some executives, we're going to see some village leaders, NDC leaders, and so on. They're going to take some good licks. When I say licks, people are going to demand that you get out. There's going to be a lot of name and shame.
Listen, my concern is service, consistency, and delivering. That's what I want them to do. I ain't got no time in no particular government. I want them to stand up and serve. There's the concern, there's what they're pushing about. I got a next question, right? And I want you answer this question. What's the difference between Trump behavior now and the APNU behavior?
You should ask me what the similarity is.
Well, it's a question.
Well, I'm going to answer this way. What do you think are some of the similarities? Well, he is claiming that there's voters fraud. He's gone to the courts. I will tell you what are the similarities. It's a very good question. And, history has a way of repeating itself. It's almost deja vu. Maybe not in this part of the world. It could be another one. You have that kind of feeling. You look at America and see what's happening there. But it's a very good question.
And prior to that, you see, in my opinion, it's the same equation. Mm-hmm. But I want to get into them. What I want, my concern at this point in time is the water. I want to shake back. I send somebody and tell this nation, why is it the water pressure drop? Because it's not only me, This is not only a black person complaining about it. You can hear people all over the place complaining about it.
Yes, it is indeed true.
Sheikh Bash shouldn't even been back there. But and this is where you have these stupid people, You know where you have these stupid people at time? And he had a finale come out the phone. He was questioning me, what shorty this nation got that a lot of these donkey ain't gonna fit back into place. And it's exactly this will fit back into place. Sheikh Bash my sparse people, friend.
I hear you, my brother.
At a weekend, and you got to deal with you washing and cleaning. And you slip on your pipe. There's no water. You want to know if Sheikh Bash bring in a 10,000 water gallon, the 10,000 tank, and they got a friend to sell it up, or some cousin and nephew bring it in, so they want a friend them sell it up. These people thinking, the people supposed to subdue to them. But my concern at this point in time, I want consistency, service, and delivery. I'm interested in it.
Thank you very much, my brother. Have a pleasant rest of the day. So let me tell you this. I'm going to say to you, this morning, I wasn't hearing from the GWI people. Ever so often, when people get riled up on this program here, try to get on to them. And I did send a letter. I did find out one of the girls' name that was working in the PR department. Text her, and I didn't get her till at the end of the day. When I finally got her, she promised to get back to me, and then I called her several times because I don't have a number for Sheikh Bash. And I'm forced right now to send all the messages to Colin Crowell, and Colin Crowell is the Minister of Housing and Water. Let me tell you, kudos to him. He always answers, and he always even calls back. Gildarie, could you send me a number for this person so I could be able to, liaise with them? I'm sure somebody up in Haslington there would have received a call there, because he did ask me for the number and I did give it to him. I think last evening or the night before. What I could tell you is that lady that I spoke to at GWI this morning, I had a very uncomfortable feeling as if they're pushing back. You know, we were always available. We always take calls here in the PR department and so on. And I got a kind of upset because I'm here. I am thinking, you can't kill the messenger. The messenger is here sitting at Kaieteur Radio, trying to liaise between the people and GWI. And it's as if, yeah, but we're trying to answer the people all the time. And you know, we're trying to do that. I'm saying to the young lady, calm yourself down. I'm just trying to reach out. If you make yourself available. Well, I haven't been able to get Mr. Sheikh Bash. Mr. Sheikh Bash is very busy. When I get him, we're going to try to liaise back with you. Could you get back to me as soon as you finish finding out if Mr. Sheikh Bash is available? So these are the kind of things that we should not want in this country when it comes to customer service. GWI, GT&T, GPL, these are big issues for people. NIS, post offices. You see, when people complain and they talk about it, the NDCs are a big issue that people are talking about. And, you know, don't make yourself available. I did ask GPL. GPL was supposed to get back to me. These people are being paid a fat sum of money to do PR work. I'm not sure what PR work means. I can't do PR work for nobody. I'm not here on behalf of GWI. I've given you ample notice. I've reached out to you guys. The people are claiming that you're not paying attention. It's a big issue year after year. We have the PUC, the Public Utilities Commission, as the regulator. People complaining. I'm sure that you're not deaf and dumb and you're listening to it. And yes, I'm told I'm not supposed to be using those kind of words in there. I'm not after anybody. But are you deaf? Are you not listening? And are you dumb? Why you're not saying something? You got to say something. Call out. I mean, we have a free radio program here. I would want to reach out to the radio program and said, could I come and sit on the radio program to change this whole misconception about what is happening to GT&T, what is happening to GWI, what is happening to GPL. But no, business as usual. The man complains there every single day about what's happening in Parfait Harmony. Where's Sheikh Bash? You as the chief executive officer, sir. You guys got to do better than this. And we are opening the lines here. We're opening the channels. You could come on to us on Zoom. You could talk to the people. You have PR people. Let them talk to the people. You want another forum, do it. People could engage you. It doesn't necessarily have to be Kaieteur Radio. It could be something else. Take a column in the newspaper. You could do so many other things. Public relations. Public relations is very good. Communications is very good. How it is that you're dealing with it, not communicating with the media. Believing that the media are the bearer of bad news. We're not here as bearer of bad news. We're here to point out to you and to accommodate you as well. That is what I do. So thank you very much for that. I hope that I don't have to be having this conversation again. I'm retired. Some days talking the same thing over and over and over. It becomes quite monotonous. Good afternoon, Mr. Gildarie. I enjoy your program. Is there an increase in crime and lawlessness this year compared to last year? I'm thinking of moving back home, but the crime scene is a little scary. Thank you for doing all this. We don't have the stats right now. We are going to continue to pay attention to it, and let's see. Hello, Leonard. It's about non-cooperation. Non-cooperation. Executive power isn't real power. Remember what Dr. Jagan said when he was elected? I mean non-cooperation. If that person is replaced, a big deal will be made. Government will be called racist. We cannot continue. We cannot continue in this country to take little service, poor service, crappy service as the order of the day. No excuse for that. The police force must understand it cannot steal $150 million. It cannot disappear with guns that would be handed. Where are the guns going and in whose hands? Who was in charge of holding custody of the guns? Where's that person? Did they sign out of any book or did they disappear? Because if nobody signed out those guns and you have a book for them to sign out and there's a locked door and you have the keys to the door, there's some conclusions to be made there. So, you know, the chain of custody is very, very important when you're investigating how something disappeared, how some money was stolen. When the money was in your custody, what did you do with it? Who signed for it? Why did you issue it? Did somebody work for it? Did they submit the time for that? Okay. Hello, Mr. Gildarie. My household is a fan of your show. I'd like to be able to call in. Calling from the U.S. Unfortunately, I don't have long distance. I've been trying to call to your show via WhatsApp. My name is Priya. Thank you very much, Priya. We don't really do the WhatsApp. It's not very good quality, but we're going to try. I'm talking to my guys how we could do it. Good afternoon, Leonard. How are you? There's so much funeral all over the place. No one do what they're supposed to do. The mask on the chin, on the mouth, and the number one doing the COVID-19 protocol rules. I don't know what the police doing about the crowd. Again, people complaining. Hi, Dearland, good day, my friend. This is very troubling. There's no water on a regular basis in Alberton, Queenstown area there. I am gonna send it, and let me see what the person says here again. Um, um, it's very disgusting and shameful. We used to get a regular supply of water for the last few years, but it's been 2 months now. It's hell with water. It just came from the Georgetown Public Hospital. There's no pharmaceutical people, very distressed. No prescriptions are being filed. There's simply no pharmaceuticals. And this government has said that there was a shortage of drugs when they went in there. 3 years, no drugs bought, and they have now ordered some drugs, $3 billion worth in drugs. Today's a very depressing day hearing about these complaints. Good afternoon, sir. I listen to you every day all the way from Curriverton. Just wanted to ask why some tongue in this country pays to empty the garbage and some don't. Places like Eccles Rose, all etc., not paying and we do. Can you reply? I don't have any idea why some people are paying. I know I pay my rates and taxes up front very early in the year. I think within the next couple of weeks or two. I do that because I want to be a law-abiding citizen. So when I open my mouth and tell them I'm a taxpayer and I paid my rates and taxes, I stand on good grounds. You should do that too. It's just a couple of $1,000s. I mean, at the end of the day, $2,000-3,000 is a lot of money for somebody. But if you do that for a year, just to make sure that your garbage is collected, it goes a lot to help. 147. Let me see very quickly. It's only 249. Good afternoon, Leonard. There are 2 bars at the Soulslike Junction every day, open and crowded on weekend. Why is it every day, every week that we got to be talking about the bars on the Soulslike Junction, Linden Highway? Nothing being done by the police. The police station. I think this is the. What is the name of? What's the name of the? What is the name of the little police station just past the junction there? Huh? Yes. Not is it Timeri Outpost when you pass the Timeri Junction? Madawini Police Station is located right next door. I'm calling you out, whoever's in charge there. And the Timeri Police Station. The junction is having parties every single day and on the weekends. Are you blind? Are you deaf? Are you dumb? What is happening there? So you got to call them now. That's Madawini, the people are saying. So Madawini Police Station, do not stand on the road stopping vehicles every day. You need to do something better than that. It's not just an outpost. You need to do it. Pass by there. Close them down. There's a COVID-19 curfew. There's a COVID-19 regulations. There's social distancing regulations. You need to do your job. Calling you out today. Thank you very much for that. So we are about 250 thereabouts. Do we have a caller on the line there? Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. Go right ahead.
Mr. Leonard, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Sir, I'm listening to your program every single day.
Yes.
And I just get real upset sometimes when I see certain things going on in this country. You're just talking about Madawini Station to come out. The police need to come out and look what's going on at the junction. Right at Gildarie, you look what's going on weekends. These police must stand up right by the roundabout, by Kitty Seawall. The whole place pack up. People selling beers and all kind of thing out there. There is like a bar too. Then you get on the between there to catch Conversation Street. People can't park their vehicle on the seawall by the Gildarie no more. So them park their vehicle all over the place and get back to the same normal thing on weekends. Every weekend is the same nonsense going on all over the place. This government, I understand like that. For me, they're smelling the coffee and then them use something else not to get this sentence into themselves. Thank you.
Thank you very much, dear. And it's very, very simple. I think I understand what the government is doing. They can't have this economy closed down forever. What you would do, you would reach with all the stakeholders, and there's a national task force on COVID-19, and I meet with them. The police are part of it. The health people are part of it. The tourism people are part of it. Everybody that you could think of are part of that task force there. You're supposed to be doing your stuff to ensure that there's some kind of monitoring, some kind of security that the people are getting, and you stop the people who are doing things that they're not supposed to do. Here it is in front of the headquarters, the Gildarie headquarters in Gildarie there. The police headquarters. It's filled there. You mean you're not seeing what's happening? Mr. Commissioner, what's happening there? I sound like CN Sharma, I know that. You need to pay attention, start looking out through your window. You need to open up your blinds and see what is happening there. Take a drive wrong, just come out to your office, drive along the seawall on a Sunday with your family. Are the police driving up and down? I would say open up. If you were to ask me, I would say open up the seawall. Make sure that there's somebody, if the seawall people, if the city council, if the authorities are good about opening this country back again, you could have people going out, but you'd have to have strict regulations. People, there should be markings on the seawall that you sit here, you sit over there. You should have your vending stuff there, but the other one has to be 200 feet away. There are many things that you could do, that you could still have some kind of activities going on. Giftland had the mall open yesterday, but too many people. You got to close it down. Mr. Roy B. Pat, what's happening there? You're my friend, but at the end of the day, you got to do it a little better than that. You can't have too many people there rubbing shoulders, not for the sake of doing business. There's nothing worth it, sir. So I didn't reach out to you, but I'm going to have it to send you a text a little later that we got to do things. You got to be responsible. We all have to be responsible. We might not make the amount of money that we're supposed to be making. Let's make a little and allow the country to breathe, to continue. The numbers are not suggesting that. So as we come down to program time right here on Kaieteur Radio, on the Wake Up Guyana show, I want to say thank you very much. It has been an engaging day. I thank you very much for that lady that called, that expressed her feelings with suicide and depression. I thank you very much, and make sure that you talk to somebody else. I know that we're going to be sad. Things are going to be affecting us, but talk to somebody. I think things are going to be better, but we have to have the will. We have to be able to forge forward, and we can't allow our government to do it by themselves. They're never going to do it by themselves alone. It is up to us. We have to pay we have to sacrifice. It's not every weekend that we're going to have a drinking session. How do you afford a drinking session, not have any food in the house? How do you afford a drinking session and not fix the leak on your roof? Prioritize. Make sure that you do what is important, and we could play afterwards. In the meantime, talking about play, we are going to be back with you tomorrow. Same place, same time. You could also have a relook at this program here on Kaieteur Radio, Facebook, Kaieteur Radio live stream on YouTube, and that's where we leave you right now. It has been a pleasure as always. It's going to be a good week. We are going to get some guests this week here on Friday again. I think Dr. Yog Mahadi and myself are going to be back. As always, do stay safe. Until then, we are going to be joined on the radio station by WI Riaz in a very short while. I deliberated and talked to him today. Sometimes he goes a little long-winded, but he is that kind of person. I want to say good day to him. He is all dressed up in white, I think about to play some good music, and I'm going to be listening to him too. In the meantime, have a pleasant rest of the day until.
Amerlander Milk. Milk made with fresh cow's milk from certified dairy farmers with 130 years experience. We produce over 1.3 billion liters annually. We work with quality standards that far exceed statutory requirements. Our milk is not made from milk solids. Amerlander. Real milk, pure and natural. Available at stores nationwide.
Golden Harvest aniseed bread plus pepper pot equals the perfect Guyanese tradition at Christmas. So make sure you pick up your Golden Harvest aniseed bread from any Demico outlet or your favorite outlets nationwide this Christmas. Golden Harvest bread, fresh and delicious. That's why everybody wants a piece of it.